Good morning, Class 6. I, Shruti Shrivastava, welcome you to the Social Science class. Today, we will continue with the chapter Understanding Diversity. I hope all of you are at home and you are safe. Before we continue with the chapter, let's do a quick recap of what we have studied in the previous classes. Okay, we were talking about diversity. Diversity means difference. It can be the difference in religion, difference in the dress, difference in the food items, diversity in the caste, diversity in the language, diversity in the region. Now, we all know that we have so many religion in our country, like Hinduism, Islam is being practiced, then there is Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, Jews, etc. etc. So we have so many different religion and people following all practicing all these religion, they live together happily in our country. So that is what diversity is. Then we come to the dress. According to the religion also people wear certain dresses. Like for example, you will see that people of who follow Hinduism, they usually wear, females if you talk about, they usually prefer wearing saris. Whereas if you visit Punjab, there people use, or people who are following practicing Islam, they prefer to wear salwar suit. So there is a difference in the dress. Then we talk about we have different caste, we have different language. For language, you can see in your class that there are people, if you talk to them, they will be talking to you in English, but you can see there is different accent in which they are talking. A person from South India will have different accent, whereas a person from Bihar, that is North India, or from Bengal, that is east of India, they have different accent. That is because of the mother tongue which we are using at home most of the time. So the influence of this mother tongue causes that difference in the accent. When we talk about the region, region can be differentiated on the basis of the social conditions, economic conditions, geographical conditions. Okay, then we have studied in the previous class there is the difference between diversity and inequality. We have taken example of two boys by the same name Samir. One was a Hindu boy, whereas the other one was a Muslim boy. And we have read the difference in their lifestyle. One was getting all the privileges of life. He was being sent to the school, he was wearing proper dresses, he was fluent, very fluent in English, whereas the other one was a poor boy who had to work the whole day to earn his living and to support his family. He was not able to go to the school, so he was not aware how the school is, what is being done in the school, and they both became friends. So we have seen that what are the difference in their lifestyle, although their names were same. Then we have studied about that how the diversity adds to our lives. Like when we were talking about these two boys, they were having different languages to speak. The one boy was having getting the benefits of the life, the other boy was not getting all that. Now we have discussed about the diversity. Diversity is like when you talk about the festivals, there are few festivals which are celebrated across the country but by different names. For example, Makar Sankranti or Khichdi, which we celebrate in the month of January, it's known as Lohri in Punjab, Onam in South India, although the celebration is same. That is, the new crops come up and that is being celebrated across the country. So, how do we explain diversity? A little more than 200 years ago, or long before the train, aeroplane, bus, or car became a part of our lives, people traveled from one part of the world to another in ships, on horses, on camels, or on foot. So, the difference is can be one of the reasons can be that people had to travel from one place to another, and they carried their culture, their tradition from wherever they shifted to other parts. Often they went in search of new lands or new places to settle in for people to trade with. And because it took so long to travel, once they got to a place, people stayed there, often for a long time. Many others left their homes because there were famines and drought, and they could not get enough to eat. So we have seen the reason why people had to travel and why they stayed at one place, because traveling was not very easy in those times. Okay, so we have taken two examples here. One was of Ladakh. We have studied Ladakh is a desert mountain in the eastern part of Jammu and Kashmir. If you have been to this place, you must have seen that it's a very beautiful place. And there are very few trees that can grow in the region. For drinking water, people depend on the melting snow during the summer months. People here keep sheep and goats. The goat in this region are special because they produce pashmina wool. This wool is prized, and pashmina shawls cost a lot of money. I told you last time, you can ask your mothers, they might be having it, or they can tell you about it. It's a very expensive material, and it keeps people warm. The people in Ladakh carefully collect the wool of goat and sell this to traders from Kashmir. Pashmina shawls are chiefly woven in Kashmir. The people eat meat and milk products like cheese and butter. Each family owns some goats, cows, and yaks. Being a desert did not mean that Ladakh did not attract its share of traders. It was considered a good trade route as it had many passes through which caravans traveled to what is today called Tibet. These caravans carried textiles and spices, raw silk, and carpets. So this was traders considered this route easily for traveling. People here, they practice Buddhism. Buddhism reached Tibet via Ladakh. Ladakh is also called Little Tibet. Islam was introduced in this region more than 400 years ago, and there is a significant Muslim population here. Ladakh has a very rich oral tradition of songs and poems. Local versions of Tibetan national epic, the Kesar Saga, are performed and sung by both Muslims and Buddhists. Last time we have talked about Kesar Saga. I have to tell Kesar Saga is an epic poem which was written in 11th century. It is from Tibet, and here in this they praise the king by the name Kesar, who had killed the evil Trotan. Okay, so now we will study about Kerala. Kerala is a state in southwest corner of India. It is surrounded by the sea on one side and hills on the other. A number of spices like pepper, cloves, and cardamoms are grown on the hills. It is the spices that made this region an attractive place for traders. Jewish and Arab traders were the first to come here. The apostle of Christ, St. Thomas, is believed to have come here nearly 2000 years ago, and he is credited with bringing Christianity to India. So, here we have talked about how Kerala is known as the spice city of our country, because we get the spices like cloves, cardamom. Then, how people here adopted Christianity, because the apostle, that is a group of people from St. Thomas, they came here and they propagated Christianity. Many Arab traders came and settled here. Ibn Battuta traveled here a little less than 700 years ago. He wrote a travel log in which he describes the lives of Muslims and says that they were a highly respected community. The Portuguese discovered the sea route to India from Europe when Vasco da Gama landed with his ship here. So, travelogue means like stories while a person visit to different place and write down his experiences over the, like when he was staying or she was staying at that place. So Ibn Battuta has written this travelogue when he stayed in Kerala. Because of these various historical influences, people in Kerala practice different religion such as Judaism, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism. The fishing nets used here look exactly like the Chinese fishing nets and are called chinawala. Even the utensils used for frying is called china chatti. And it is believed that the word Chin could have come from China. The fertile land and climate are suited to growing rice, and a majority of people here eat rice, fish, and vegetables. We all call popularly called things made from China, in Hindi, like we term them as it is from Chin. Like people call China in Hindi as Chin. So most of these things, we can say that they might have come from China, and that's why they have the initial name as Chin. While Kerala and Ladakh are quite different in terms of their geographical features. The history of both regions has seen similar cultural influences. Both regions were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. You can see the similarity here, like uh, they both were influenced by Chinese and Arab traders. Differences in the geographical condition. Ladakh is what you can say, cold desert, whereas Kerala is a place which has lot of greenery, and it's on the beach, is also a seashore, which allowed for the cultivation of spices, and the special geographical location of Ladakh and its wool that drew traders to these regions. Thus, history and geography are often tied in the cultural life of the region. The influence of diverse culture is not merely a thing of the past. Our present lives are also about moving from place to place for work, and with each move, our cultural tradition and way of life slowly become part of new place we are in. Similarly, in our neighborhoods, we live close to people from several communities. Our daily lives are about the ways in which we do things together and hear stories about each other's lives, customs, and tradition. So you must have seen, or you must be knowing that you have some ancestral home in some village or some in some other city, but due to your father's or your parents' job, you have moved to this place. So you must be seeing or noticing that wherever you are living, there are people who have different cultures, they have different traditions, and they have moved to this place for the search of job, or for the search of better future for their wards, for their children. Okay, that's all for today, class. We will be continuing next in the next period. I hope you all have be at home, take care of yourselves. Thank you.